Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight, the town hall. It's an exciting night for everybody. I hope everybody can hear me correctly. Let me know if you can. I'm playing double duty tonight, kind of triple duty. Dan, our usual tech person who makes me look a lot smarter, is off tonight. And as you know, this is a team effort. I'm really proud of our show tonight. We have an incredible group of panelists on here. But I want to start with kind of a brief moment of silence or prayer. It's been a tough day in America. It really has. So just everybody take a deep breath. We've got good news about the recall, but let's take a deep breath. A moment of silence. Thank you. There are good things happening across America, but more importantly, there's great things happening in California. And as I keep telling everybody, and my voice is a little shocked because I was in LA today, your recall team, by the way, has been in Sacramento, Los Angeles, and volunteers up and down the coast today at all the various rallies. We're out there collecting signatures and doing some amazing things. Um, I'm proud to announce a couple things here, and we're going to have Robin come on and talk a little bit before we go Oren and then go to Scott in a second here. What I'm really most proud of is what we've done as volunteers. Um, I woke up this morning, I said this on stage today, saw there was $1 million available in the lotto. I'm getting to my point. I go, that's a lot of money. I've never seen seven figures, and certainly our campaign hasn't. And then I took a look at the number of people that have come to the website the last 90 days. And I want you to get your arms around it. We've had 1 million people come to our website the last 90 days at recallgavin2020.com. The movement, the recall that we all own. And as has been announced, we're just a tad bit short of 1 million signatures. 950,000 from our group, from the volunteers. I want you to think how amazing that is. And if we are going to get this done in California. Before we flip to Scott and our guest, I'd like to flip to Oren, the mastermind. And what do you call yourself, Oren, the main proponent? I call you a lot of things, but I'll call you the main. Oh, before I go off, Cordy's not here tonight because he's in Washington, D.C. I want everybody to know he's safe. All right. Again, we have people all over the place tonight, but Cordy is safe. He did go to Washington, D.C. to protest or participate, I guess is the better word, in what went on tonight. Oren, it's off to you for about a few minutes before we get to Mr. Scott.
Thanks, Mike. I really appreciate that. And I just want to say a quick prayer for everybody in Washington, D.C. and for our country as a whole. We are in a true battle between good and evil in our state, our country, and the country we know and love is in jeopardy. And we need to fight for it to survive. And that's exactly what we're doing with this recall. We are invoking the power of the people. The power of the people. This is a government of the people, by the people, for the people. And we are the people. They in the government are our servants. And we are going to issue a termination of employment letter to Gavin Newsom. And we're doing that through this recall. Thank you, everybody, for joining us in this mission and coming on board. I just hope everybody's safe back there in Washington, D.C. We have a lot of evidence that's coming forward that this was not patriots that were involved in the takeover of the Capitol, but Antifa posing as patriots with their garb and their attire. There's a lot of evidence that's coming forward, and I'm law enforcement 25 years. I don't go off rumor, I don't go off hyperbole, I go off the evidence, and I want to see tangible evidence that that's the case, and that's what we're working off of here. We are doing amazing things here in California with this recall. And thank you so much for joining us in this mission. Again, Mike, back to you.
Thank you very much, Oren. I mean, it's a tough day in America, but it's a blessed day when we have the ability to exercise our rights. And now, Scott, if you're ready, I'm really honored to introduce somebody that really needs no introduction, but I want to go on record right now, Scott, and say you have been a tremendous friend and a tremendous voice for the recall since the beginning. And I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. Again, we're all volunteers and how much everybody does. Scott, it's off to you.
Well, I'm happy to be with you, Mike. I see you on the news all the time. And I just want to save a beautiful state and an amazing country. What's going on lately is I don't know what the word is really for what's happening. It's truly incredible. It's unbelievable. The amount of cheating that's going on and what's happened. This country's being flipped upside down, and what's happening here in California. It's unrecognizable to me. And I'm a fairly fair-minded human being. I look at both sides. I'm a very conservative human being, but I'm incredibly open-minded. I don't, we are pegged, conservatives are pegged as xenophobic, homophobic, every other phobic that you can think of. And we're not. We're nothing like that. And I walk around California. Mike, my wife and daughter and I just got back from Utah.
You told me.
And quite honestly, we're thinking of moving out of here. I'm going to give it one last shot here with the Antichrist governor and mayor that we have. And if it doesn't turn around here, I don't know what to tell you, because it's unsustainable. It just is.
Scott, if I can chime in right there.
Sure.
You're not going to be able to move far enough from California when Gavin Newsom becomes your president.
That's true. And the way it stands right now, Oren, is what's to stop them from winning every single election in every state? What's to stop them? Because they're cheating.
We are invoking the power of the people. Yes. This is what this country was founded on. And this is the movement that you are part of right now, my friend. God bless you for joining us and being and participating in what we're doing. But this is a movement of the people. This is not a party's movement. This is not a Republican or Democrat, thing. This is a movement of the people, by the people, for the people. You and me, Scott. God bless you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, but I can. I don't know if I agree 100% with what you just said, and I'm sorry that I disagree with some of it, because I don't think. Yes, it's a country of the people and by the people, but it seems those days are gone.
That's why we have to stand
right,
up.
But my point, Oren, was that
fight.
There's a lot of people in this country that don't want the country to be the way it was. They don't want it, no matter what. They don't want it, and that's troubling to me. Everything leading up to this moment right now, this has been the greatest country. Everything everybody has is because of America, and people want to flip it over. And I can't. And no matter how much you and I, and Mike and other people go at them and say, "Look, I get it. You don't like Trump, or I get it. You don't like this, but do you understand what's happening to the country?" They go, "No, it's okay. I'm fine." And I just, maybe I think to myself, maybe am I too involved? Am I too aware? Maybe that's my problem. But then I have a daughter that is everything to my wife and I, and we want her to inherit this amazing America that gives opportunity to everyone and is free.
Scott, let me ask you a question. If you could wave a magic wand, and we're waving one, outside of recalling Newsom, what are 3 things, or give me 2 things you'd like to see immediately changed about California California, because you got a lot of people involved in this movement and we are out for change. So give me some examples here.
So examples, if I had a magic wand in California, I would, magic wand, I would make it, when was Reagan governor?
Oh
In the
my goodness.
70s?
Yeah, late
No.
70s, 80s.
I'd make it that.
84
Whatever.
ish.
But in terms of right now, well, Mike, that's an amazing question, and I've never even thought about that. I would say, you said keep Gavin Newsom out of it. Okay. Um, I turn it to the floor. I don't even have an answer.
Well, how about this? How about we reduce the homeless population? We increase or we reduce our taxes, and we spend the taxes on what their intended purpose was for.
If I had a
So-
magic wand, I would make everybody in California a true patriot. That's what I would do. And then we wouldn't have any of these problems.
There you go.
No homeless, no illegals, none of it.
And Scott, the reason I'm asking that is I think one of the problems in general, especially with Gavin, is trying to solve everything that nothing gets solved. I mean, I can't think of an issue that's been solved literally in California in years. We talk about gas-powered cars in 2035 when our hills are on fire. We talk about housing and zoning when we've got homeless all over our streets. So I'll leave the question rhetorical for you, but I really want everybody to think about this a little bit as we move what I believe with our movement, the recalling of the governor, into the next era. And as we, the people, interview for the next governor, which is what the special election is going to be about, folks, we're going to have a panel of people. I'd like everybody out there, and Scott, you as a voice, to think about a couple things that they would really like to make the priority for their next administration.
Well, I got the answer to that. I mean, are you posing it as a question, or are you speaking rhetorically?
No, I'm posing the question,
Okay.
brother.
Okay. For me, the most important thing, number one above all, is safety and security. That's it. Safety for me, my family, my friends, and safety for you and your family and your friends. If I were governor, I would move around money. I would hire, if I could, 3 or 4 or 5 times as many police officers as they have now. I would put beat cops back on the streets. I would have it so that every time you walked out of your house or out of your business, you saw a policeman. That's what I would do. Because you can't go to a mall anymore, an outdoor mall, and go shopping without being accosted by somebody. You can't walk down the street and let the cops do their job. There are laws. They have to uphold those laws, just like the governor does, which he doesn't do. I would get rid of the sanctuary city policy. Gone. That to me is number one. So, and everything after that, what you said, Mike, was that this guy's trying to solve so many things. He's not trying to do anything. He's trying to, in my opinion, somebody said it earlier, the guy from Tin Horn Flats, which is a great place, by the way. I went there years ago. They want us dependent on government, period. Kill business and give people some crumbs and, oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you, thank you. And that's what they've turned us into. My daughter and I were driving the other day, and something happened, and she was so happy that she was able to do something. And I said, Bailey, I'm going to show you how this works. They take everything away from you, and they give you a crumb, and you're so thankful for the crumb. That's how they control you. I said, well, you cannot fall into that mindset, because that's what they want. No church, no restaurants, no public gatherings. That's what they want.
You know, it's fascinating you say that, Scott, because when Orrin and I and Robin and some of us started this original movement, it was basically, well, it was started on the concept of better policing, less crime, etc. And of course, things kind of exploded from there. Anything you want to add, kind of, if you don't mind, is kind of I'm going to say words of encouragement, Scott. You're highly respected as a conservative voice, not only along with your acting career. Sorry to break that to you. I'm like you didn't know that before, right? But on this day here in America, I know this just in, brother, but today, in terms of the movement for inspiration for all, literally probably 5 to 8,000 listening on this who are out there recalling the governor, just give us a few quick words before we go to our next guest. And I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
No, it's okay. I think you need to recall Gavin Newsom. I think he's destroying a beautiful state, destroying it, bludgeoning us with this COVID and other issues that are going on. What I would say, Mike, is this. I believe and I know that there are more of us than them. There's more fair-minded, traditional Americans in this country and more conservative-minded people in this country than there are on the other side. It was in this last election that was stolen. And I believe that Trump either won California or was close to winning it. That's what I'm told from people that I speak to that know people up at the White House. I'm, call me a kook, but just know that it looks horrible right now, but there are more of us than them.
Appreciate it. And of course, Scott, before I let you go, where's the one place I want to hear you say that you've got to go to get that petition and tell all your friends about? It is
recallgavin2020.com.
There you go. And
God bless you guys.
Thank you very much, Scott. Very much. We appreciate you taking your time and being on tonight. God bless you, man. Godspeed to you and your family.
Thank you. And you. Thanks, Mike.
God bless you, Scott. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to flip to our next guest now, and I'm going to start, which I rarely do, with an embarrassing confession, because I've told Oren I'm never wrong, except for one minor thing. Bill, can you unmute there and help me pronounce your last name before I give my embarrassing confession?
Yeah, it's Steinkirchner.
Steinkirchner. For starters, not only do I have trouble pronouncing Bill's last name before he tells the story, this week, Oren tasked me with putting together the graphics for the show. So having never naturally and being enamored with Bill's story, and he's going to talk about his Stone Brewery company here and how the small business person is fighting back. And again, we have the stars fighting for us, and we've got people like Bill fighting every day. I went and thought I picked, which was a fine picture of Bill. And it was a fine picture, and it was the picture that we put up in the graphic that we blasted around the ecosphere. Now, for any of you paying attention, and some of you may not, you may look at that picture. You may look at Bill and say, boy, Bill's a lot better looking in person than that picture, because that picture is actually Bill's partner. But it's a good looking picture, Bill, you must admit.
Yeah, they do say he's a lot better looking than I am. This is all stress right now.
I just have to say that Mike told me he was wrong once, but he was mistaken.
Very nice. So, Bill, tell us a little bit about your story, if you will. You got a good one about your Stone breweries, where they're at, and I think most fascinating really is the mono-on-mono battles, if you don't mind, with the ABC a little bit.
Yeah. First, I want to thank you guys for inviting me. I know that although Scott's off, I'm going to be hearing a lot about, it's no longer Joni loves Chachi, but Bill loves Chachi. So I'm going to be hearing that a lot at my brewery. But just want to let you know, I'm not here as a Republican, a Democrat, and an independent. I'm more here as, a California resident, American citizen, and more specifically, what has touched me deeply is as a small business owner. Brief history, I'm also retired from the military, 23 years, retired as an Army colonel. So loved every minute of it.
And thank you for your service, my friend. God bless you for that.
Thank you. Each one of our shirts has the flag on it. So this is all I wear. And then just to let you know, Stone Church Brewing is my last name, Steinkirchner, translated to English, it's German, is Stone Church. So that's really the gist of the name right there. But as Mike said, as a small business owner, we've been hit emotionally, economically, financially hard on this pandemic. And 3 shutdowns. The first shutdown, we've got 2 locations, one in Old Town Temecula and one in Corona. The first shutdown, our Old Town Temecula location, and it's a high rent district, was shut down completely for 2 months. Corona location was shut down for about 2 to 3 weeks before we were allowed to open for to-go sales only. And to-go sales, it is just a mere pittance of an individual wanting to go in, grab a craft beer, and have an experience at a location that they deem safe. We've abided by every single mandate that's been out there. We've shut down 3 times, and reopened 3 times. So this third shutdown I think is hurting every small business, especially breweries specifically, hard. Since March, I have been visited by ABC 3 times, called once, and given a written warning, which was a pretty nasty letter, and called and visited by the health department 5 times. So a total of 10 times I'd like to call by now, harassed by the ABC and the health department. And each time they found no violations. It's just those individuals that, because we're in such a visible location on both fronts, one in Old Town and one in a retail area, people come by and you would be amazed at how many people actually videotape that we're open on the patio and assuming we're not allowed to be open and things like that. We've temporarily furloughed, we've got 10 employees, all 10 were furloughed, which forced the brewer to do the back room, me to do the front room in order to keep operations going and some income going. Since each reopening, we developed a plan, which I shared with all the breweries in the Inland Empire about how to safely reopen. So the bottom line is we've spent thousands of dollars on protecting the client, the customer, our staff and families, and still provided a safe environment, both on just outside alone since March. Even when we were permitted to open up just 25% back in June, we chose to just remain outside because we knew there was going to be another lockdown come July, because it just happens to every 5 days, the governor deems that there's, right before a holiday, there's going to be a lockdown. It's been completely unfair to breweries and restaurants when wineries are permitted to stay open, have on-site consumption with no food, which is one of the requirements that breweries are supposed to have, but wineries are not. And it's all simply based on the fact that he owns a winery, and it's just his policies. I don't think you'll find a more avid or stronger person to want to recall Newsom than myself. I've been to several rallies. One of the first rallies that Riverside held way back in April, I think, at the county courthouse about reopening small businesses, and several rallies since then. We've got the petitions at both our breweries that are signed when we've got individuals from the Recall Newsom available to go. But what's interesting to note is the more that I kind of harassed Newsom on my Facebook page, that's when I seem to get the most harassment from ABC. And then I've been shut down, I think 3 or 4 times now on Facebook because of my comments regarding Newsom. The last one was almost for about 30 days, but I was able to fight that. So it's just, as a small business owner, it's been unbelievably touched us deeply, but also as a person living in California. And I'm on the same boat as Scott is, where we thought we were going to live here forever. We're now seriously considering moving out of California in about 5 to 8 years, depending on how the business goes. And it's just all his policies. I think the thing is we just got to continue to hammer we all have stories to tell, and each one is different, whether you're a bar owner, a salon, beauty, restaurant owner, everything's different, a gym owner. Everybody's been hit hard except for the big corporations that, are allowed to remain open, even though recently, Home Depot and Costco are getting upwards of, 70, 60, 70 people infected. They're still allowed to remain open, where there has been one case attributed to us being open outdoors, and the infection rate that has been tied to contact tracing for restaurants and breweries is 1.8%. So the way that this dictatorship, and I'd like to call dictatorship closer, becoming an emperor, is really ruining the state of California. And a lot of us Americans, we do have a short memory. We forget about the fact that he spent $1 billion to purchase masks from China, and yet nobody can seem to know what's going on with that. We forget that we have representatives that are supposed to be in session and representing us, but yet it's very few of those, other than Kevin Kiley and Melinda, are really speaking up on our behalf to fight this one-man rule. For 9 months, there's been no COVID plan. I still see no COVID plan. Instead, what he's done is he's moved the goalpost every single time that a small business has met that goalpost, he's moved it to, for first it was only no eating inside, then you can drink outside, and then it was, based on a county. Now it's based on a region. And I didn't realize that Southern California region went all the way up, halfway up the state, but apparently it does. And all this ties into his ability to have his winery remain open. And everything he does is for him. He ignores the stay-at-home orders. He went to Hawaii. He wasn't quarantined for 14 days, which is the governor of Hawaii requires. He was caught in the French Laundry. His aunt was caught in a beauty salon. We forget the fact that how poorly he's managed just recently, just the vaccination. He touts that, but still 30% of the supply that's been distributed is still not been vaccinating the people of California. We forget about, the rolling blackouts that we have. And when you've got 50% of the state that's shut down, it's inconceivable to even think how there would be a blackout when half the businesses are closed. The fact that the riots that were going on, the peaceful protests, so to speak, nothing was done about that. We've got one now, I think probably the second or third highest death rate attributed to COVID. And his plan is to shut down small businesses simply on the fact that he has no plan, and the fact that the hospital administrators didn't do anything to plan for this surge that was going on. So, I mean, I can go on and on and on. If I had a magic wand, there'd be the first thing I would do is make Gavin Newsom disappear off the face of this earth, along with Nancy Pelosi. That would be the first thing I do. And then I would want to get California back on track to where it needs to be.
Well, Bill, if you could make Gavin disappear like that, it would make our recall a lot easier, let me tell you. Look, sir, we appreciate
and he said nasty Pelosi. I love that. That's the first time I've heard that. I like that. That was amazing.
Your breweries are in Corona and Temecula, right? Are you open now?
We are open right now. We have a location in Old Town Temecula and our location in the shops at Dos Lagos in Corona.
And the fact is, if everybody opened, they might be able to get some of us, but not all of us. It's the herding mentality. We have to all open up. Otherwise,
well, it's about being able to have a choice in your life. And we're not going to go to an area or a neighborhood at night that we know that is unsafe for us. We're not going to go visit a
Bill,
bar
you,
or location that is
have
unsafe.
the right. You have the right in America to pursue happiness,
Exactly.
and that's what you're doing.
Newsom has taken the small business owners' right. No one is putting a gun to any citizen's head to go visit my brewery or to go visit any other small business that's out there. If an individual wants to visit a location and they look and they see that the owner of that, or they see that the staff is not wearing masks, they see that nobody's social distancing, and I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not a big fan of this COVID pandemic. I think a lot of it is made up for what it is, and the statistics aren't there to prove anything is right. Since COVID has done something that man hasn't been able to do in 2,000 years, and that's to eliminate the flu in one shot. 877 people, I think, yesterday died of the flu season this year. But everybody, heart attacks are down because it's related to COVID. Suicides are down, it's related to COVID. Car crashes, COVID. So a lot of those things, Newsom has taken away our right to choose as an individual. If you do not feel safe to go anywhere, that is your right. And nobody's going to fault you for that. If you want to wear a mask to go in someplace, that is your right. Nobody's going to fault you for that. But allow those small businesses to open, allow us to get back. There isn't one small business owner out there that wants a check from the federal government or the state to continue. We got in this for a reason, and that is because we were proud of a product, one, to share that product with an individual that we're proud of, and to hopefully make money, which, that's pretty much have gone out the window for this year, or I should say last.
And I just want to say, Julie says, I like this guy. He thinks like me.
We're watching the feed alongside.
And I just want to say, you think like so many others. You put our thoughts to words, and you do it so well. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bill, thank you very, very much. I look forward to tipping one back at your place sometime soon. And remember, you are carrying recall petitions, right?
Yes, we are.
So
and Bill, do you have a website that you'd like to give out, or
Well, it's www.stonechurchbrewing.com.
Stonechurchbrewing.com.
Correct.
I like that. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Good enough. Everybody go to stonechurchbrewing.com, but more importantly, go to their businesses and throw one back and enjoy yourselves.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
God bless, my friend.
God bless you very much. Thank you
Thanks
for being on the show.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. Again, sorry about the picture, but if you go to their Facebook page, what they have one too, you will find that picture on there. But anyway, that's a story for another day.
Yes.
Thank you very, very much. And now I really want to get to actually the star of the recall. This was everybody waiting for. No, Aaron, it's not you. I see you getting all primed to pump.
Damn it.
But Robin is actually going to give us, we've talked about where we are in the count. And we always try to answer questions at the end. And I think the best one is always, what's the count? Where's the count? Where's the count? And Robin, before I let you cut loose, and I promise to kind of shut up, also tell people, since the year has turned, about the 2021 date, because I've gotten more questions like you have this week than probably second only to when we getting rid of Gavin. Right. Robin, you're on the air.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'll start with what Mike said first. Our petitions have not changed. What you need to do is when you sign up on the bottom, just put a 1 on top of the 0. We tried to save everyone having to write so much. We had no idea we'd go into the new year. So on the petition in the circulator section, just change 2020 to 2021 by writing a 1 over the 0 on those 3 days. And we will let you know if something changes.
And they can't make a copy by putting the 1 over it. They have to write it in, right?
Correct. Everyone has to be individually done at this point in wet ink. You can't change one form and make copies. Gotta love the Secretary of State, right?
No, I don't.
So yes, that is what you need to do. And now we'll go to the numbers. Like Mike said earlier, we are just short of 1 million. And the volunteers have rocked this recall. You guys have made history. We have never in the history has there ever been a group of volunteers that have done what this team of volunteers have done. Over 950,000 signatures by people working, getting signatures in petition booths, clipboards, everything you've done, sharing with family and friends. So everyone tonight needs to give themselves a pat on the back. Why are you laughing, Mike?
Because somebody put in the feed, when we get to 1 million, can we say it Dr. Evil style? I reserve the right to do that one. We're literally close. I think we're what, 12,000 short or something like that, right?
We're 12,000 short. And what's almost as exciting as that is so far GoCo, who is verifying our signatures, they have verified 713,300 signatures. That is amazing. And we still have a couple 100,000 that have not yet gone to them. In addition to that, we have 651,000 of the signatures collected have been turned in to county recorders. They're in the process now of county verification. We have 111,000 signatures that have been verified, but people are just now getting delivered those packets. So in addition to the 650 turned in, by the time this next 111,000 gets turned in, that will be 762,000 verified signatures submitted to the 58 counties. So that is absolutely phenomenal, tremendous, historical. So we can't thank all of you enough. And we put out a 911 alert. We were having one of our executive call meetings about a week and a half ago. And Oren said, what's the count? And we were at 911,000 signatures. So we spun off that and we put out a 911 message to our Facebook groups. Our team has responded with absolute miraculous work, because our goal on that 911 message was, let's take 911 and hit 1 million by 111. That's Monday. We will do it. So thank you, volunteers. Thank you to everyone working so hard and continuing to work hard. And just one little reminder, even if you don't have the to-go packets you've heard about, if everyone that signs or goes to a petition table, whether you're working on one side of the table or the other, be sure a blank petition is handed to that person who signs and ask them to get 5 or 10 more signatures. And we will continue to push this snowball up the hill, and it'll be rolling down quicker than you realize. And we're going to hit the mark to give Newsom the boot.
I like it.
We're going to sign Newsom's termination letter.
Yes.
And Robin, just one more thing on the date change. No whiteout, folks. Don't use whiteout. Just cross it out. Put the number over put the correct date in. You can do that. No whiteout.
No whiteout. Make it easy on yourself. You don't even have to line through 2020. Just put a 1 over the 0. Yep.
Right there. There you go.
Right there.
And a couple things here. We always have a lot of questions, and I want to emphasize a couple things here. We as a political PAC have from the beginning been as transparent as possible. Our financials are published, and every piece of information we have is on our website. Now, for those of you playing along at home, most of you are like me and use your cell phone. So when you want to know what the count is, which we update about once a week, thanks to Robin, but I'll take credit. No, I'm just kidding. It's all Robin, right? And Dan does the actual website. You have to be on a desktop to see that. Okay. So a lot of times when people go, what's the count? You never post it. You never do this. It's there. It's just on your desktop. Other things, when you're looking for instructions, it's there. If you can't find them, it's on your desktop. We're doing everything we can to mold in our technologies. And I want to add, there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of news out there. In addition to having really about 1 million signatures, over 950,000 by volunteers, with all the noise and flack and stuff going around on the news, again, grasp what I said at the beginning here. We've had 1 million people come to our website the last 90 days. Walmart called. They want to borrow our marketing department. Think about that. 1 million people and so many download the petition. I also want to go on record and say, no matter what you hear back and forth, there's one petition out there. There are separate groups raising money out there. It doesn't go to us. Is that one for one petition? Thank you, Warren. I wasn't sure if you're telling me to shut up or meant to give me the other finger. Also, also what I want to say is this. It is not our job. And again, this story is growing. It's on Fox, ABC, everything around the country. It's not our job to pick the next governor. It's not our job to endorse anybody. When a candidate, and you're going to see this more and more, makes a really big deal that they signed the petition. When a famous person gets up and goes, hey, I signed the petition and I'm thinking of doing this, that's up to them. We endorse virtually nobody. We endorse one thing and one thing only, and that's to get Gavin out of office. And
we are just making that opportunity available for somebody else to more competent to take his spot. And Mike, can you address? There have been some rumors. Did we get a big payout? Was there a big payday for the Recall Gavin 2020 team?
No, there's lots of noise and news out there, and we've talked about this before. And again, there was no money that came into recallgavin2020.com. Again, as this grows, God bless other groups coming in. There's one petition. I can't stress this enough. There's different pots of money used for different things. But when you see announced in the paper, and I got a lot of, hey, how's it going? You won the lotto. And I'm like, right? It didn't come into recallgavin2020.com. And we do need donations. And for anybody out there, I want to stress again, we're blowing political people away. They said, ain't no way you're not going to get 1 million signatures without $4 to $5 million in a minimum. It's not possible. And I think, Orrin, we have 600,000.
We've done this on a shoestring budget.
That's right. Look how I'm dressed. Forgot.
Nice tie, Mike.
Thank you very much. Same tie I wear on TV all the time. I've only got two. No. The reality is, we are doing this because the people are doing it. And that's what's really the reason you're going to see more political heat. You're going to hear stories. Money went here, money went there. This person did that. That money doesn't go into us. But if they get signed petitions, God bless them, because we are as pure a political cause. That's going to tick off a lot of people. By the way, right and left, as time goes on, as you're going to get. We have one mission, one petition, one thing that we want to do, and that's get Gavin out of office.
And I just want to add in on that this is a movement of the people by the people. And politics in California, politics in the nation are over as you know it, because we are on scene. This is a movement that cannot be stopped. Get on the train or get off the tracks, because we're coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I do want to say, even on a limited budget, some of us have taken the liberty before we end the show to design Gavin's new business card. Then if you ever meet him, I hope he's handing out. Okay. I hope we've answered all the questions tonight. It's been a tough day in America, but it's a good day for the recall. And going forward in politics, America and California should be focused on nothing but recallgavin2020.com. God bless you, Bill. God bless you, Scott Bale. God bless all of us for what we're doing. We, the people, will take back our state. Thank you very much, and good night.